Hey guys, how's it hanging everybody? This is StormPow and welcome to yet another episode of StormPod. Today, for our 10th episode, we are going to be talking with an old friend of mine who goes by the name Classy Spartan, but some of you old school people may remember him as Manga Man. So basically, he and I go back. We met on a forum a long time ago, making Halo videos and did a couple collaborations way back around 2010, 2011, and we haven't talked in a long time. So I wanted to have him on the podcast to really just have an opportunity to kind of shoot the shit with him and catch up with him, and it ended up being a really great time. So just a little quick background on him. He is one of the members of the Dub Talk podcasts. So basically what that podcast is, and we talk a lot more about this later on in the episode, but they talk in great length about anime, in particular, the voice dubbing process of anime. So with that being said, he is an absolute guru when it comes to anime. So if you are an anime fan, there's definitely going to be some good stuff in here for you. He actually goes and curates me a list of recommendations to watch for anime, and it was really interesting. We talked about some animes that I watched a long time ago, some of his favorites. We talked about his favorite voice actors, his favorite shows nowadays, and all that. So really great episode, especially if you are interested in anime. And we also talk about a lot of other things, including the gaming and YouTube community. So hope you guys enjoy this episode of StormPod as much as we had fun recording it. And as always, please be sure to check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/thestormpow as we do these episodes live every single week. So being there live not only gets you access to the episode about 48 hours sooner, but it also gets you access to the pre and the post show where you can interact with myself and the guest live before and after the show. So it's a great time. So please enjoy this episode of StormPod, and also please be sure to check out the Dub Talk podcast for more content, a lot like this episode here, but with some more folks and some more variety on some of the shows that they're talking about. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this episode of StormPod with Classy Spartan.
I got to spend a week, literally a weekend, several weeks prior to all the shenanigans. Had a weekend in the city with my girlfriend. Her sister got us tickets to go see Beetlejuice on Broadway back at Christmas. So we got to go see that. And also that same week, they had the new My Hero Academia movie in theaters. And I wanted to see that in New York City. I'm like, I want to see that with a New York crowd. That's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was...
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it was very fun. And I was, until I kind of realized seeing the movie, the crowd was pretty decent, but then I realized at some point I was the one that was kind of like squealing and screaming in anticipation about how hype it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. And also Beetlejuice is a very good, wild musical, which have you ever seen the Beetlejuice you ever seen the movie Beetlejuice?
I actually haven't, not gonna lie.
It's a very fun, wacky movie. They did a very fun job doing it on Broadway. I can see why this is an expensive show to run, because the crazy things they did with scenery, special effects, prop work, lighting. Like, you enter the theater, and the atmosphere of entering the theater for Beetlejuice is what I can describe as a Halloween party being held at a German discotheque.
What the fuck?
It was all idea. Greens and purples and like loud lights. It was very fun. Also, now pretty much all theaters, all Broadway's closed, and that was several weeks prior to this. Like, it was like, I think the last week of February, because we were both working on Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
She also got me Beetlejuice on Blu-ray as like as I almost said as a Halloween present, as a Valentine's present, which was very sweet of her.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, because I remember hearing, you went to Anime NYC, and I was watching the video that was posted on the Dub Talk YouTube page with that, and I watched it today, just kind of like killing some time trying to get some topics ready for tonight. And I was watching it, and it was so strange watching this video of you and your friends walking through this very crowded building. And I was like, this is so weird already, you know, but I mean, luckily you got to do that before they started getting to where like everything was canceled, you know?
Yes, very much got lucky about that. I think stuff really started to get canceled, like anime convention-wise, like probably February or March or stuff. There's a lot of con circuits that are kind of basically, like a lot of big anime conventions this year are kind of like indefinitely on hold right now. The only one I'm kind of hoping for is one in September, which is going to have, I believe, the voice actress of Morgana for Persona 5 there. So I really want to get that signature.
Yeah.
I should
And
probably actually explain what it is I do now that I think about it.
sure, yeah. Let us know. For those who don't remember you from some of the stuff that we did a long time ago, I'm a kind of touch on that because I found some gems. But but yeah.
Oh man, oh god. The next thing you're gonna tell me is you have the video series just saved on your hard drive.
Oh yeah, waiting.
Oh god, you actually have it.
No.
Oh god. It's like on the one hand I want to see it, but I'm very scared to go back and read my old referential dated humor writing.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. Give us your dating profile, as I like to tell guests.
Okay, I'm not giving my dating profile because my girlfriend would be upset about me. But no, she's great. Anyways, as for who I am, my name is Andrew. You might also know me by one of the other two usernames on here, Manga Man, or what I go by now, Classy Spartan. I remember meeting you, Mr. Oh man, you want to talk all the usernames? Let's talk about how I first know you as NovaPow.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, I was like, which, I know we met on a forum. Now, which forum was it? Was it Virtual Flicks? Was it something else?
I'm confident it was Virtual Flicks.
Okay. That's what sounded right to me. And I don't even remember really how our first interactions were. I just remember meeting you there and
I think I met you through playing Halo with other people. That's the main thing I remember. Or it was just part of a chat conversation. Because I know some people had met on the Machinima forums, but I was never really on the Machinima forums. I found you and some other people through Virtual Flicks.
Gotcha.
That's how I first started interacting with you, Lewis, Damon, Holy Junkie. I'm trying to remember.
Oh wow, Holy Junkie. That name takes me back. Wow.
I've not talked to Carl in a little bit, but he's been doing well. Last time I talked to him, it was about like upcoming My Hero stuff, and I believe a D&D campaign I was doing with our buddy Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to decline that because eventually my schedule just got a little too busy, but that was a ton of fun.
And what do you remember brought you to Virtual Flicks? Because for me, yeah, I was one of the folks that migrated from the like Machinima forums and stuff. I
remember exactly what it was. Actually, it was somebody did. I don't remember which YouTuber like YouTuber Machinima. Okay, they became like video game players after a while, but there was like one content creator who made stuff. I want to say it was Kutra.
I was about to say, was it one of the creatures?
I believe it was the creatures. Yes, it was one of them that brought me. They did a promo for the forums, and I was like, this seems like a neat place. And then I just started interacting with people, and it was like, man, these seem like cool people. Machinima seems cool. I like Halo. I like all these video game stuff, making movies. At that point, I was getting a little bit more of a feel for making media, making like scripted content, and wanting to be part of that. That's how I remember being part of that, getting exposed to all the Halo creators and all that jazz. And yeah, I was very big in the 360 gaming stuff back then. So that was my console of choice, and meeting people for the first time was a lot of people I knew through playing Halo, and I think whether Halo's the big one. Halo was the big thing that made a lot of friends. I played Halo 3, ODST and Reach were the ones I got really into. I played a little bit of 4, but I wasn't too into 4. I think the big ones I was into were 3, ODST, and Reach. Same. 3 and Reach, which Halo 3 custom games was so much fun. That was the thing to do back then.
Yeah, like that's when I think of like probably the most addicted to video games I've ever been in my life. It was like Halo 3 custom games and stuff like that.
Oh boy. Oh, my girlfriend's in the chat. Hi, sweetie.
now we gotta quit talking about going to the club and doing crazy stuff.
Oh god. Oh no, I have to tell about all my luxurious inappropriate stories about all the cool times. It was I did that one thing with the but there was that other. I don't actually have many embarrassing stories. Okay.
Dang. Well, then this is gonna be hard. But no, yeah, I was looking through some of our old stuff, and like the first, and really our big thing was we did that Halo Machinima series, The Miners, which you wrote.
Yes, I remember we were collaborating on like because I think I remember back then I wasn't big into because there's a lot of different types of like machinima. Some people would do some hardcore like drama shorts. Some people would do action series. I liked comedy stuff. I was very big on a lot of the Red versus Blue, a lot of the goofy stuff. I believe what was their I think it was something the guys that from Digitom did this one series that made me crack up when I first watched it. I wanted to do like comedy stuff because it was funny and I enjoyed doing like comedic stuff. I was like, there's everybody does all these things with the big soldier guys, all the cool soldier guys, all the cool Halo Men's, the Spartans. What about the aliens? Because in Reach, you actually had the opportunity to play as the elites, which are basically, for those who don't know Halo, those are the really cool aliens.
Yeah.
Those are the really cool, freaky alien guys that their jaw opens and you've got like 4 mouths and all that. And then you've got their big, cool guy who's played by Keith David. Let's face it, Keith David is... That man's voice is sex.
It is sex.
Anybody who's afraid to say that Keith David's voice isn't hot is insecure about their own feelings.
No, I completely agree. And that was a lot of fun to make. And we had Dan's News play as one of the characters.
Yes, I remember Dan. I don't remember the other guy, but I remember he was a voice actor we actually met through Virtual Flicks. I remember that as well. And
yeah, I remember that. And we had Aaron Smithy play as the judge. I don't know why I remember his name.
I remember Aaron. Oh my god, I remember Aaron. Yes, he was the dude who had the Domo avatar, and I think he actually had like a kid back then. Like, god, that kid's probably like at least like a teenager now. Wow.
Oh yeah. And no, that was a lot of fun to make. And I remember so I was looking back, I didn't even realize that we made a 3rd episode, but here's the Leary thing. I couldn't find it online anywhere. You can find episode 1 and 2 scattered throughout the internet, but episode 3 I think was only uploaded to Machinima, and everything Machinima is gonzo now.
Honestly, like I know people had a lot of strong opinions about Machinima the company, but it's still genuinely upsetting to me that just the entire company and all of that content is just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's genuinely upsetting to me. I'm like, I think a lot of the IPs actually got bought out by other companies like Rooster Teeth and I want to say what's the company that does like Sonic for Hire, or is that now Rooster Teeth too?
I don't think it was Rooster Teeth, but man, you've dropped out so many names. Like Digitom, I forgot about them. I forgot about Sonic for Hire, but those are things that I loved back in the day.
I remember also like Dexter Manning, Guitar Master, like Lau. His name's Lau. He goes by Lau now, but Guitar Master, Smash Tasm. I remember watching a bunch of like Smash Brothers Machinima back in the day, where everybody was hacking the hell out of it and back to get the really good angles. Oh my god. Darren, do you remember what the name of your media thing was? Your media channel was?
Oh my god, it was Donkey Kick Media.
Donkey Kick Media! Yeah!
And I was like, why in the hell did I think that was... I think I was going for not necessarily shock value, but like memorability. I'm like... And also...
Holy shit! I forgot I made you do a gaming video of like my favorite games in 2011.
Oh yeah, I remember you were like, yeah, this would be fun to make, and I was like, all right, let's do it. You know,
I see. Back then, I felt so bad because it's like, oh god, I don't have the things to make it. I don't know how to make things. Can you make it for me? Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no, that I do remember that because every now and then I read that name and I'm like, all right, that would be cool if but like having a name like that literally restricts you just to comedy. Like if you try to make something serious under the name Donkey Kick Media, who the fuck is going to like, I don't know.
Let's see. Today we're going to be discussing about a story about psychosis and the trauma that you feel when you are a soldier coming back from home, where you're coming from home and you're expecting a warm welcome, realizing the people who you sacrifice yourself, your life for, who you would live and die for, they throw you on the street as your mind is losing yourself, you're losing your sanity, you're losing your humanity, you don't even know what's reality and what's fantasy anymore. Released and produced by Donkey Kick Media.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just it ruins it. So
exactly, yeah.
Very very short-sighted, I guess.
I mean, here's the thing. You know what Rooster Teeth is now, right? Rooster Teeth is a play. Okay, literally the thing about the name Rooster Teeth is that it's a play on word for cockbite.
Oh, I never really knew that. I don't think.
Like, that's the whole thing. I remember seeing a thing where somebody got in trouble for wearing a Rooster Teeth shirt because they're like, oh, that's cockbite, right? But here's the thing. If you ask, nobody would recognize the fact that Rooster Teeth is a play on words for cockbite. They are now an official company that produces a lot of company. They're a big channel now. Yeah. They make a lot of content. They produce animated stuff. They've got things that air on TV now. Like, it's nuts. It's crazy how far they've come.
The more you know, I guess. I had no idea about that, actually.
Oh my, I just realized some of these episodes of The Minor, Stone Filmer hosted some of these on his thing. I don't know what he's been up to. I think he's also started a family now.
Mm-hmm. I believe so. And yeah, I think he actually edited the second episode. I don't know why. Like, I think maybe I might have had like my computer down. I can't imagine that I was like too busy at that. I mean, what the hell was I doing? I was like 15. Like, you know, what do you mean I was too busy? So I don't know. But yeah, he edited the second episode. That's why the editing is good on that episode. And but yeah, no, that was our baby there for a minute.
Oh, Gomo. I remember Gomo did a lot of really cool stuff. He was a French guy. He did some of the coolest looking Halo machinimas because I'm seeing Super Space Gordon and the Robot Ninjas, which that was basically, if you like Scott Pilgrim, it was very Scott Pilgrim. I'm basically on the Virtual Flicks YouTube channel right now trying to see if any of the stuff... I think you have some videos on here, actually.
Oh, man.
I'm going through the machinima hole now.
I was about to say...
Honor of the Sun. Was that you?
That was me, unfortunately. Honor of the Sun was me. That was... I think...
This one I remember. No, I remember this one was yours. You did The Big City.
Oh, that was a fucking dumpster fire of shit. But yes, I did make that.
I'm making you relive all the cringe, my buddy.
Oh man, I remember that was when I first learned video editing, and there were a couple of little tricks that like I hoard out in there, like 3D text, and I thought I was just so fucking cool for that. But and some of the editing I still watch back, and I'm like, you know, not bad for like a 14-year-old, but I'm also like, just the story was just nonsensical in like every way.
You know something I completely remember about Virtual Flicks now that I think about it?
What's that?
Do you remember when like there was big old drama going on with the people who were administrators on that site?
Maybe.
There was a big old falling out between like one or two of the administrators. The problem was they basically kicked somebody out for being an admin, but the admin still had access to his account.
Oh, yeah, that does sound familiar.
I don't remember who or what or how. I just remember it was basically like somebody fought with somebody else, and then it was the equivalent of a formed coup d'etat, I remember. And I was just on a Skype call, remembering like as we were all just kind of messing around and screwing around. That brought me back like in a big way. I don't remember who or what. I just remember being part of that. I actually found the promo. It was Kutra. It was Kutra. That promo.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm trying to find episode 3 because I feel like I could see it. There's a director's commentary here.
Oh, there is a director's commentary. That's cool.
There's a link to episodes 1 and 2. There's trailers, but yeah.
That's all I could find was the video on my old channel where I linked it back to the Machinima thing, and it was gonzo.
It made it. I also remember the promo where it's like, "Yo, dude, we made a video. That was cool."
Yeah, pretty much. We're like, man, we've been talking about making this damn thing for months, and it finally, we finally made it. Here it is. But no, that was fun. The days of just making Halo Machinima. Any kid with a capture card could make a freaking movie,
It was back in the day where it's just like you could do whatever. Who cared?
Yeah.
The craziest thing is just recognizing like who the people are and like what they've gone on to do now. Like, do they make gaming videos? Are they living regular lives? Some of them are now like professional voice actors. Like, your buddy Kaggy Films, aka Alejandro Saab. He's made it pretty big as a voice actor, which I could segue into the other thing I do. I've talked about him on my other gig I've done in the recent years.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
The thing I've done in the life after Machinima, I did college. I did college for a little bit, and then so the story about this is I was friends with a moderator on another forum called the Funimation forums, which I believe if you know anime and anime content, you've heard the name Funimation. You should be watching. Those guys. You've probably heard of them.
I don't think anybody's heard of them.
No. But yeah, I was friends with who was the moderator at the time, Spaceman Hardy. I started hanging out started talking with him and being friends with him. I followed him on Twitter. And then he just kind of messaged me out of the blue one day. Hey, so you watch like English dub stuff, right? I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm part of this thing called Dub Talk, where we kind of like cover a lot of like dubs, simuldubs. Do you actually know what a simuldub is?
I feel like I've been told, but no, I don't know confidently.
Okay, so remember way back when anime came out in Japan and then it was released and dubbed and brought in home video, and the process could sometimes take as long as like 2 to 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
So basically simuldubbing is something that is currently airing and simulcasting right now, and we are dubbing this material relatively quick as far as it's coming out in Japan, and we are basically dubbing it on a week-by-week basis. And that is what a simuldub is that you are kind of watching, airing, and recording it as you go.
Okay.
And I was basically like, there's a show called Heavy Object, which honestly is not a show I think is that great. It's kind of meh. The dub was fun. I just didn't really like the show. But he's like, hey, you want to talk about the dub of Heavy Object? So I did. And I had the old baby Logitech desktop microphone back then, where my idea of a pop filter was, let's put a sock on it, literally. That was my setup for early recordings. Was I had this old Logitech desktop microphone that my buddy gave me for like $10 back in high school, and I decided I don't have a pop filter. I have a sock. I'm not going to put my sock on the door because I don't have any hot dates going on. I'm just going to use the sock and I'm going to put it on this microphone and I'm going to talk about anime for like half an hour or 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So
then I basically became... Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to make a jab. It's like you're sitting there, one foot is colder than the other, but damn it, you've got no pops on your plosives and stuff.
Oh, Darren. That's my secret. That's my secret. I don't wear socks.
Ha! That's how he's got so many pop filters. Anyway.
Yeah, no, like, look, I'll wear socks when I need to, but honestly, I'm more comfortable taking socks off just because it's like, you know what? I like my feet. I like my feet being free. I like feeling the wind in my toes, all that. Anyways, I basically, because Hardy invited me on this podcast, I got acquainted with the actual group of Dub Talk, who were basically a bunch of friends who knew each other, who were kind of brought in to do, like, talk about anime and stuff. And then the winter season of, I think it was 2016, where it's like, okay, they just announced a bunch of simuldubs. We're going to invite all the guests who have helped out on this show at some point. it's like, hey, we're going to split up responsibilities. We're going to try to cover as many of these as we can. If you've been on the show, let's pick episodes and let's see what we could do. And then from there, basically what became like sort of like a group. We got to know each other better. We became friends. We got to interact. We got more professional. We started planning these out. We started planning reviews, impressions. We've covered a lot of anime dubs over the years now. We've covered some classics dubs. We've covered some current dubs. We've said some things and made some terrible jokes that we probably regret that are still kind of funny. I've gotten really close with a lot of people on the Dub Talk podcast. You're probably wondering how close?
How close, Andrew?
My girlfriend is technically she technically started the podcast. Her name is Lilac. It was technically her brain project, which she started as like a anime dub news discussion show, and then suddenly it became a podcast of a bunch of friends discussing anime. I started interacting with her, got closer with her, and we've now been dating for like over a year now, I think, since November of last year.
Okay. Well, that's good, and that kind of answers a question that I was going to ask. So you met her through that podcast then, right?
Yes, I met her through that podcast, and I think I've met most everybody on that podcast at least in person once now. Because
that's cool.
For like 2 years, we kind of did a thing where we went to a convention in Dallas called Anime Fest, where that was like our group getaway hangout stuff. Where I got to meet some voice actors, we got to hang out and meet each other in person. We did some videos. I think we've done some games on the Dub Talk channel where it's like we did a Guess the Anime OP ED. So if you want to see me interacting with some of the other people on that show, that was a fun game we do sometimes.
So how many episodes are you guys in? Because it's a lot, isn't it?
Oh God. So what do you mean by how many episodes? Let's start with what do you mean by that?
I didn't know that there was going to be some multifaceted answer here. So
this is a trick question. So let's just say the main series is Dub Talk. The main series is Dub Talk, where a group of nerds gets to get together to talk about the latest, greatest in anime English dubs. Which part of the appeal of Dub Talk, which kind of started it and prompted it, was that a lot of people talk about anime. A lot of people don't really talk about the art of anime English dubs and voice actors and like whether they're doing a good job with the performance localization, which that's kind of a niche that a lot of people don't get to talk about. Even a lot of the big anime tubers don't get to really talk about, man, this voice actor in English is really good. They kind of talk about the current stuff. So our like Steph's little brainchild became a multifaceted discussion of a lot of current ongoing dubs and stuff. So, as far as the main series of Dub Talk, we are now at 195 episodes.
Wow. I think this is the 10th episode of this podcast, so
dude, this is, as far as the podcast itself, it has basically been going for like 5 to 6 years now. Like, as far as the podcast formats, like, we kind of did it like once a week for a while. Sometimes we would double up. Sometimes we would take breaks. The main series has 195 episodes, and that kind of has a group of rotating people amongst our group of like maybe like 10 to 12 people.
Yeah.
So I'm not on every single episode. Steph's not on every single episode. Oh, sorry. Lilac is also named Steph. If I call her Steph, Steph is Lilac. Lilac is Steph. But
they
yeah,
are one and the same.
They are one and the same. A lot of rotating people who do different stuff. The last episode I did was a little OVA called Kase-san and Morning Glories, which is kind of like a LGBT girls love romance OVA, which was very easy to cover. There's exactly 3 characters in the show.
Oh, well, hey. Yeah, that's nice and easy.
Yes, but there are some times where there's characters with a lot of episodes. There's shows that have a lot of characters, and sometimes you want to talk about the show and the characters in very intricate detail. There's a lot of tangents, but there's a lot of discussions. We've actually been going through because with the 100th episode, we did a whole montage of like our best moments from episodes 1 through 100. So since we're getting close to 200, like me, Steph, and a couple other people are trying to go through, like, okay, let's go through stuff for like 100 to 199. Let's see what we got. So I'm going through some of the old stuff from like 3 years ago now, and I'm like, oh, there's some fun clips in here I forgot about.
Yeah. And I think it's cool that you guys do, like you said, it is kind of a niche audience, like doing dubs, because I think a lot of like Anna YouTube and stuff like that, it's like, I feel like a lot of it ignores dubs. And in fact, in a way, I mean, I'm sure you're like, they kind of shit on it a little bit sometimes. You know, there's a lot of purists who will deny when there is good English American voice acting, you know?
I'm going to be honest, like anybody, I'll say this. If there's anybody who genuinely takes the sub versus dub thing seriously, or dub bad, or Japanese good, like anybody who actually takes the whole sub versus dub thing seriously, or is like, God, it's only good in Japanese, shut up. You don't actually care. Like,
yeah,
English dubs have a market. There's people who genuinely enjoy the performances, people who can only watch in their native language, like people who genuinely have dyslexia or like learning and reading disabilities and can't like read the subtitles, and the English dubs helps immerse a whole new audience of people who wouldn't have gotten into it otherwise. And also there's just a lot of really hardworking, like talented voice actors, anime directors. Like, here's the thing people forget. You know, all the people who started out on the internet who really liked anime and did all the like forums and like English like fan comic dubs, guess what? Those people are in anime now.
Yeah.
The generation of people that grew up on the internet really liking anime and really wanting to be voice actors, they're voice actors now.
Yeah, I mean, like being so close with Kagi, that's given me a huge amount of respect for voice acting, because I mean, honestly, like, and you know, from the surface, you're just like, oh, you just go in a booth, say some lines, and scream a little bit, you know, maybe sing a song, and you're done. But like getting to talk to him sometimes when he'll hop on a Discord call with me and a couple other people, and he's just like, man, you know, just talking about the work that they put in, trying to get things synced up, trying to get things done on a time crunch and all this. And I'm just like, man, it's crazy. So yeah, it's like, you definitely can't ignore that is an art in and of itself. And like, there can be good and bad dubs, you know, there can be good and bad original voice acting.
Here's the thing. The thing about Dub Talk is we're not always full on like, yeah, no, this is the greatest thing ever. Sometimes I will be like, this dub, I think the localization is a little weird. I think this voice might not work as well in some parts. This line delivery is a little fat. Like, there's sometimes also a thing. Anybody who says, like, man, this dub has to be fateful and perfect and, like, totally on the straight and narrow one-to-one Japanese adaptation. Here's the thing. Straight one-to-one adaptations, those suffer. Those get stilted dialogue. You get really weird localization terminologies. Like, one of the things I've been seeing a lot about, this isn't exactly like anime, but this is about localization. What's coming out next week is Persona 5 Royal.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I've been seeing a lot about lately is comparing the localization and adaptation of the original Persona 5 game to Persona 5 Royal, where there are some lines that are very weird sounding in delivery and translation for, like, it's like they talk in English, but it's a level of weird workarounds of the sentence where it's like, how do I describe it? It's like, the thing you could say in 10 words, you instead say in 50. That's kind of what, like, that one-to-one translation does. It's like, but Persona 5 The Royal, the things I've been seeing, they made it a lot smoother. They made it a lot clearer, a lot more concise. They made some creative changes, and it works better for the language.
That's good. Yeah. It's like there's always going to be certain things that are a little bit different in the translated versions. I mean, if stuff like that, you know, if you just got to have the pure, then freaking learn Japanese. You know what I mean?
Actually, bringing back to your boy Kagi Films, he stars in a show called Sarn Zamdai. I believe, I'm not sure if he talked about that with you or not. That is a very unique, interesting show. That show was done on a simuldub schedule. You want to know what that show has?
What's that?
A lot of Japanese wordplay, a lot of a lot of wordplay. Like another thing is that like they use things like otter. Like there's a character who is an otter, and he says like you are utterly disgraceful or something like that. They do that a lot. And there's a lot of like Japanese like localizing that to English. So you have to localize that on a weekly schedule. Also, they had to sing. They had to translate and adapt the songs weekly for a simuldub. And it's good. And it's pretty good. There's one or two voices in that are interesting, but I think that's one of those things I appreciate about doing that dub thing on a weekly schedule. You have versatility and adversity, and people care, and they work very hard with the show. And it's really good.
Okay.
It's really good stuff. Like, I'm going to be real with you, Aaron. Not Aaron. Darren. What was the last anime you watched?
Oh my God. So I tried to remember this yesterday because I was thinking about that. Really, I haven't like sat down and really watched an anime in a long time. Now I remember, before I took my little hiatus where I kind of just ignored the internet for like a few years, the animes that I watched, and I don't know which one was the last one, but it was like Baka and Test, or Nichijou, however.
Nichijou! Ooh, Nichijou! By the way, speaking of Nichijou, that actually has a new English dub that came out last year. And
is it good?
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Like, I was not sure. That's one of those shows that has a lot of weird Japanese terminology and things. Sometimes I was like, how are you going to adapt this into English? They did a fantastic job. It's hilarious. Like, I would recommend if you want to rewatch that in English, that one's a ton of fun.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God, Darren. You know what I just found?
What's that?
I found your Mal page.
Oh my God, my anime list. Hey, that's actually perfect. This would help you out. I don't know. I should have been updating it at that time. I know. I had also seen. Oh God, what was it? Fuck. There was something else I think that I'd watched around that time, but it was. Oh yeah, of course, Clannad and Clannad After Stories. Those are some of my favorites.
Oh, I have a story. We have stories to talk about our relationship with Clannad, you and I, because Clannad is one of those things that. I used to be really, like, we got to be friends because we both really like Dragon Ball Z. We really like Dragon Ball Z, but also, like, I was into the shonen stuff. Clannad was one of the shows I watched where I really got to expand, like, the types of shows I got to watch. I got to really watch and enjoy. Oh, did I disconnect for a second?
Yeah, hold up. Your video's gone, but I got your audio.
Oh, no. Video.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Yep, I'm alive. Hello.
There we go.
I just realized I heard the disconnect. I was like, okay, cool. So basically, Clannad was like one of the first like real romantic comedy drama. It's not really comedy. Romantic anime drama series I got really attached to. It was definitely the first like anime tearjerker I got really attached to. And it was also the show I recommended, I think, to at least 10 to 12 people. Like, I got a bunch of people into it, you included.
Yeah. I remember that because you guys were like, oh, it'll make you cry manly tears. That's what everybody kept saying. And they were right. I mean, they were definitely manly tears, but tears for sure.
Oh, it was one of the first, like, hard, like, cry shows I had really experienced. It was kind of one of those things that really was special to me because I don't know if it would still hold up if I rewatched it nowadays, even though I did recently buy the entire series on Blu-ray now, so I have it when I want to watch it again.
May as well. Yeah, I wonder about it because I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I wonder if like the strangeness of some of the stuff that was going on in it would hold up, like you said, but maybe.
There some things I would probably notice, like some of the people in the dub might sound a little weird, but there's a couple of voice actors in there that I got to be acquainted with because of Clannad. Like the big ones I remember was I learned who David Matranga was, Lucy Christian, Brittany Karbowski. Greg Ayres, yes.
Couldn't remember if it was Greg or Chris in that one, but
yeah, no, it wasn't Chris, it was Greg Ayres. I've actually got to meet some of them at some point. I got to meet Greg Ayres at Anime Boston. He's a funny guy. He's a cool guy, cool dude. Also David Matranga now is Anime heartthrob Shoto Todoroki, aka no, he's not Prince Zuko. He looks very similar though.
I think Clannad was the first and probably to this day the only anime that I watched once dubbed and then once subbed. I think the first time I watched it was dubbed because I remember like I remember especially Sunahara's voice. Because I remember that being really funny, and that was like a love or hate. I remember that was when I first started getting exposed to the world of. I was like, wait, some people like really hate dubbed anime because I saw like I would watch like YouTube videos of like clips and just
and
the
you
comments.
see all the people be like, "Oh, his voice sucks,"
and I'm like, he's like my favorite voice in this show. Are you smoking crack? Like, and then I got to learn it's just all preference. At the end of the day,
it is all subjective preference. Anybody who says you dubbed anime, it's like, no, it's all preference. There's a lot of really good ones, and even the ones you like, there's some little weird things, but let's put it like this. There are more good anime dubs than Cowboy Bebop, and yes, even Ghost Stories.
So
which, by the way, Greg Ayres is also in that.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he is. Okay, so for those who don't know what Ghost Stories is one of those kind of infamous dubs where basically the people dubbing it were kind of given a free range to just have fun and kind of do whatever with it to a degree. And what they got to do with it was kind of what people would consider as kind of like abridged level, like comedy material.
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny dub, but to say it is one of the best dubs or one of the only good dubs is really, really shitty and very misinformed.
Did you find anything of interest on my anime list page or?
I found what you've watched. You've watched a bunch of Dragon Ball. Here's one I remember. You recommended me this one. I remember you recommended me this one because you said, "Oh, I think it's by the same people who did Clannad." A Tale of Memories.
Oh, did I? Does it say that I actually finished that show? Because I think I did.
You did finish it, or you rated a 9 at least. So here's what you've actually watched according to your Mal. Baka and Test, Clannad and Clannad After Story, Dead Man Wonderland.
Oh,
a bunch of the
I loved that show. Okay.
That one also starred Greg Ayres.
Oh.
Dragon Ball GT Kai and Z. A Tale of Memories. Fully Cooley. Black Butler.
Oh yeah.
Nichijou, which I also will add. You should check out the dub of that. Sound of the Sky. Man, that's a niche one. That's a good one.
I don't even remember that. What the hell is that one about?
Do you remember the girls who were kind of like soldiers and the one girl who played with the trumpet?
Oh my god, yes, I do remember that. I fucking love that show. Those oh my god. I'm glad today is my like Friday at work. I've got the whole weekend. I'm gonna like just go nuts and like rewatch some fucking early 2010s anime.
Or actually, oh, okay, one more that you have watched, which I've been rewatching this one again. I don't know if you ever finished this. Gurren Lagann.
I didn't finish it, but I know that's one of your favorites.
It's a favorite of mine. I'm actually currently rewatching it for an upcoming Dub Talk episode because we're basically have like a 5-year anniversary thing coming up. So it's like every host gets to pick a dub or a show that means a lot to them. And Gurren Lagann was kind of mine because that was the show that got me back into anime. When I was like, man, anime sucks. Because I watched a whole bunch of Bleach. I was like, man, anime fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking up images of Sound of the Sky right now because I had like, I wouldn't call it a nostalgia trip because this was like less than 10 years ago. But like, I think that when I have dementia one day, you can like mention the little girl with the trumpet, and that's what's gonna bring me back all my memories of like that era.
And also do you remember the opening? How it's got that very like haunting like tall tale thing?
Yes, God, that was such a cool show. I love that.
So Darren, you know what I have?
What's that?
I have a fuck ton of anime. Am I allowed to say fuck?
Oh, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
I have a fuck ton of anime that I have watched over the years, many of which I watched for Dub Talk, for pleasure, and everything in between. I want to do you a solid as somebody who's probably not touched anime in a long time, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people you have guests who can recommend you good video games and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that is going to curate you an anime watch list.
All right.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be your matchmaker for you tonight.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Let's make some criteria. Let's get some criteria going. Because I'm not going to just recommend you every cool thing, being like, oh, I like anime. Let's see. Okay, look. I actually take recommending anime seriously. I'm not going to be the Boku no Pico guy. Your silence is a good thing, because you're like, what the fuck is that?
I was like, I don't know what that means. Is that a good thing to be the Boku no Pico guy, or it sounds like a bad thing?
No, it is not a good thing. Basically, it is a very infamous adult anime. Let's say adult in adult, as in adult.
For grown-ups.
For... Not sure. Anyways. The point I'm saying is I'm not just going to recommend you a bunch of troll picks. I'm going to actually take this seriously about things you like, things you enjoy, and what you have at your disposal. Firstly, streaming services at your disposal. What do you have?
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Disney Plus.
Netflix, Hulu.
The basics.
Netflix and Hulu are the two we're going to work at. So you do not have a Crunchyroll or a Funimation subscription?
No.
Okay. I don't know specifically stuff that's on Hulu offhand, but I have an idea of at least a couple that I think might be on Hulu. Netflix is the one I'm going to be working with. So let's talk about genres. You're probably going to say, oh, I'll watch whatever, but let's talk about what you actually like. What genres do you personally enjoy and want to see more of?
So if I could narrow it down to 3, I would say...
Let's narrow it down to 3 genres.
The stuff comedic, like your Baka and Test, Nichijou, shit like that. And then whatever you would categorize stuff like F and Clannad, like not necessarily drama, but like, you know what I mean?
Really drama, weird. Relationship drama.
Yeah.
Character drama, I believe, is the word we're looking for. And you want things that can make you feel things that have very good detailed characters.
Yes. And whatever you might consider stuff like Sound of the Skies, just kind of, I don't know what category that would fall under.
So let's say niche art house / cute girl doing cute things.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So from that, with going off of what I know is on Netflix, and from some things I'm going off of that are on Hulu. So the first and most important question I'm going to ask right now. Have you seen My Hero Academia?
I actually have not seen My Hero Academia.
Okay, wait, actually, hang on. Here's my question. Give me a number of how many I can recommend you.
Let's leave it to 3 right now.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going to make it hard on you.
Oh, I thought you were going to give me like 10. Okay.
I'm a busy man, all right? We got to skip straight to the best of the best here.
Okay, I'm going to negotiate. How's 5?
All right, that's a compromise. We can do that.
6 if I throw in a movie?
All right, yeah, 6 if one of them's a movie. Deal.
Okay, cool. So, I get 6 anime to give you. I'm also going to try and give you a preference of English dub stuff and English dubs that I think are really good too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and for the record, if that changes it, I don't have a huge preference on like...
You don't have a preference of sub or dub?
Yeah.
But I also want to expose you to some really good ones.
Okay, cool.
So, My Hero Academia is a must as somebody who likes the good old shonen Dragon Ball stuff. This is like the modern recommended shonen stuff. I believe you can find at least the first 3 seasons dubbed on Hulu right now.
Okay. I'm jotting all this down.
That's the one I know's on Hulu. So, here is your... Okay, this one is going to be your movie recommendation.
Okay.
Because I need to verify that this is still on Netflix. Yes! Okay, cool. My movie recommendation for you, because you mentioned you like emotional character drama interaction stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you A Silent Voice.
A silent voice.
A Silent Voice is this one. I'll say this. Remember that time you told me F: A Tale of Memories was by the guys who made Clannad?
Yeah.
Guess what? You were wrong.
Now, is this
It
actually
wasn't
made?
actually. This is actually made by the same studio that did Clannad.
Okay.
This is Kyoto Animation. This is a feature film. This has a really good English dub. It's an emotional story. This is one of those, this is going to make you cry things. It's going to make you feel things. It is a gorgeous film to watch too.
Jotted that down. I said movie, A Silent Voice, Clannad people. Got it.
A Silent Voice, Clannad people. Okay, so I will give you 2 more emotional ones. And then I think we will go for we will throw in some comedy and or action niche stuff.
Some feel goods.
Some feel goods. Or some feel bads and some feel goods. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna give you. Because you like Clannad stuff. And you like things that'll make you feel things and things that'll make you cry, I know.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw 2 of my personal favorite tearjerkers in here.
I'm ready.
First up, Anohana, the flower we saw that day.
Okay.
This one's not going to take you too long. It's 11 episodes.
Oh, nice.
This one's relatively succinct.
Nice. I can get into that.
Now, this one might be a tougher sell, but this is basically, remember you're like, you want the niche art house stuff? This is the niche art house stuff, but also emotional character drama.
Perfect.
March comes in like a lion.
I like the name.
This one's a bit of a longer commitment, but as this one goes along, this one's really interesting. This one's kind of cute and feel good, but it's also emotional and feel stuff. How niche are we talking about? This is a drama about shogi.
Okay.
You're thinking to yourself, what the fuck shogi is?
I didn't want to ask it and be embarrassed, but since you said it, yes. What the fuck is shogi?
Basically, the most abridged, bastardized way I could describe it is think of like Japanese chess.
What the shit? Okay.
Basically, like professional Japanese chess is the biggest like summation I could describe it as. Okay.
Gotcha.
So that one is a little longer. That's got like 40 episodes.
Oh, that's not too bad. I was thinking like more than 100 or something. Yeah.
No. Most of the things I would actually recommend you are not terribly like long. Like most of them at most are probably like 1 to 2 seasons.
Cool.
Like
cool.
My Hero Academia is by far the longest thing I can give you right now, because that is as far as what's on Hulu right now, that's like 3 seasons of about like maybe 60-ish episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2 more. I have to choose carefully now.
It's like picking your favorite kids.
See, I need to know what's here, and I also need to think about things you would like or things you would enjoy. I'm not going to go for some of the more obvious ones, I don't think. So let's go for... Let me actually look at... what comedies are on Hulu, actually? So, chat people, because I know a couple of you guys are in here. What good, like, Funimation comedies are on Hulu that you can check right now? This is me talking to the chat, breaking the immersion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Anime and anime-inspired. Let's think of good, funny ones. Actually, here's a question to you. Do you like sports, Darren?
I'm really not a sports guy, but I think I watched a few episodes of what is it, Hajime no Ippo,
Hajime no Ippo? Okay, that's a
and that was
boxing
cool.
one.
Yeah, I liked it. It was cool to watch, but like if I have to actually like know a lot about the sport to enjoy it, then no dice. But like if it's just cool to watch, then I'm here for it.
Here's my question to you. Do you like working out? Or do you enjoy working out?
I wouldn't say I enjoy it, but not to say I would hate like an anime that, again, as long as I don't have to enjoy it to enjoy the anime, then we're cool.
Do you want a show that'll kind of pump you up?
Yeah.
Get you really...
That sounds good.
A thing that'll get you, like, it's funny, it's got a great ensemble cast of characters, it's got some good drama, got some good high school shenanigans, but also, like, it makes you give a shit about something you didn't care about.
Let's do that, because something in between all the emotional stuff. Let's pump some testosterone back in. And
it both is emotional, but it's also like sports character drama stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you Haikyuu.
Haikyuu, okay.
This is an anime about high school volleyball.
Okay.
I believe that there are 3 seasons, but I think right now Netflix only has 2, but even then, that's a good 50 episodes. So that'll last you a bit. And... okay, so... I need to give you some more comedies and stuff. There's a couple of good comedies on here, too. You know what would be a good one that is actually anime, that is on Netflix, that won't take you too long to watch?
What's that? And I think this is your number 6.
This is my number 6. I gotta be careful right now, but I think I'm comfortable right now giving you this one. I'm gonna give you Agretzko.
Agretzko. Sounds like a medication, but I'm listening.
Agretzko is basically an anime from the people who make the company is Sanrio. You might know them from like Hello Kitty and stuff.
Okay.
So you would assume this is going to be this is a cute, funsy, kitty, adorable anime.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what it actually is. It's about they're chibi cute animal people, but it's actually about like working people in Japan, like salary people who are kind of like working the 9 to 5 and basically after school, like this is the life they're living. They're getting older. They're dealing with getting older, the struggles of life, reality, job, and the girl, Agretzko, who's basically kind of seemingly a pushover. But her pastime is that in order to vent out all of her frustrations of her life in the real world, she goes to karaoke and she sings death metal.
I'm here for it as well.
So there are English songs where like the songs are in English too. So you hear like this dude who is actually a professional like death metal singer who is doing these death metal songs, and you've got these cute little chibi animal people. And yeah, so I could recommend you some good stuff all day, but these are the ones that I think, as far as what you would enjoy, what I could think would be easy. Also, this is a really easy one to get through. The episodes are like, you've got 2 seasons, they're 20 episodes, and they're like 15 minutes each. This is a really quick one.
Okay, so that's
but it's really fun. It's fun and relatable too.
Okay.
So let's see, 20 episodes and a Christmas special. Christmas special in between season 1 and 2. So I will send this list to you. 3 seasons.
What a gentleman.
I make sure, look, I'm not going to show you a good time and then say pay for your own cast fare. I'm gonna pay for your bus fare, and they'll give you directions home. Maybe even give you a lift if I'm feeling generous enough.
Damn.
So yes,
you're sitting there looking at that list like them's some good animus right there.
So I'm sure the chat is probably yelling at me, being like, "Oh, you should recommend him this thing or that thing."
I've been peeking at the chat, and actually, a lot of them are I think, in agreement with you. Like sometimes you would mention, like you know, in stand up comedy when the comedian is performing in fucking Chicago, and he goes, man, I just love Chicago, and the crowd is just woo, like that's what's going on right now in the chat. When you mention the name of like one of these animes, people are like, hell yeah, fucking love Chicago.
Yeah, I imagine there's probably some like Funimation simuldubs I've gotten to cover. I could recommend you. I don't have Hulu on hand, and I don't know the selection they've got on hand. I'm more able to find what's on Netflix right now, but as long as I know My Hero Academia is like dubbed on Hulu, that's like the big ol' action get back into the good shonen stuff, as well as there's some good character. I gave you a lot of good character dramas. I gave you a lot of good. There's some funny moments in these shows, but I gave you some good like character drama, niche art house stuff that'll make you feel things too.
Those are ultimately my favorites. So yeah, if there was going to be one of these genres that's like more so predominant in that list, then that's the genre to do it. So
I'd say half of what I've given you is some pretty like emotional like drama stuff.
Okay. So oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh no, I was still just going off. So, in conclusion for the audience of what I've recommended Darren for anime to finally watch for himself. I have given him 5 television anime series and 1 feature film. I have given him My Hero Academia, A Silent Voice, Anohana, The Flower We Saw That Day, March Comes In Like a Lion, Haikyuu, and Agretzko. All of these have English dubs attached to them. All of them, I think, are really good, really fun dubs. One's from Funimation, one's from Sentai, and a couple are California-based.
Word. All right. So that's that. I am for sure gonna make an effort to watch some of this, and I'll have to follow up with you on this.
I'm very excited to see what you think of these.
I'm probably get into like Anohana, I'll probably watch the movie first, but then probably get into Anohana. Start with the easy to get into stuff, and then start easing my way. Maybe even watch My Hero like in the background, like take a break from one of them. Watch a couple episodes of My Hero or something like that.
I definitely say My Hero and Haikyuu are the things you watch in between some of the more emotional stuff.
Okay, no.
And Agretzko's. I'm gonna be honest. You could probably watch Agretzko with like your fiance, and she'd probably get a kick out of it because it's very much like a working lady in society and dealing with the shit like that. I think she'd probably be very entertained by that too.
No shit. That's exactly what I was thinking when you were saying that. I was like, because she's never really watched anime, but I was like, man, if there was one just based off of that description alone that I think she would probably like be into, it was probably that, So I'll have to definitely try that out.
Also, do you play Overwatch?
I do play Overwatch, actually. I fucking love Overwatch.
Okay, because I know dubbed and voice actors and stuff, here's a fun fact for you. The guy that plays Agretzko's boss, he's a very angry fat pig.
Oh my god, I fucking hate that character in Overwatch. He's such... they always fuck me up.
No. I'm not even talking about Overwatch right now. I'm talking about Agretzko.
Oh, I was thinking the guy with the hook or whatever in Overwatch.
But they are tangentially related because the guy that plays Roadhog in English is Agretzko's boss.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Damn, such a small world when you start doing that. You start looking at that stuff,
dude. By the way, says my girlfriend / podcast boss is here. Steph, I love you. Thank you for teaching me the ways of English dubbed anime and having me part of your show. I appreciate it. I got to learn a lot of things about who's in what and what they've done. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I can tell you who's been in what games, who's been in what shows, what they've done. You'll probably recognize a couple of them from some of the things you're watching together. Okay.
And so I want to go back just a little bit. Something before we got on our topic here about anime, we had mentioned something, and I want to go back to this for just a moment, and then I've got 2 questions that I think are going to be really fun I'm actually really curious about these. I almost want to do them now, but I'm saving them for towards the end here. So, this is way off topic. So, from what we're on right now, we were talking about folks that we knew way back in the day, and talking about things that they, or like how most of them are still around, but they're doing different shit now. So I wanted to kind of share some of the ones that I've found and also see if you maybe know some that I don't know or whatever. So,
Okay.
because we were talking about some folks that we knew, and I've been kind of thinking about this a little bit periodically. So, do you now you mentioned like Kutra, of course, how I think he works like in game development now for one, but
Does he? Okay.
something he got like, he doesn't really do content anymore. He does like just a normal day job and everything. But I want to say he ended up actually working with the Unreal Engine, which was cool because you remember a lot of his movies were made in Unreal.
He did a lot of like Unreal stuff. I remember that. So it was was it? I don't think he did Source Filmmaker, but I remember, wasn't there like an Unreal Engine movie maker? That was a thing people could use.
And he did a lot of Mass Effect things with that or something like that, I think.
Yeah, I remember because that was actually like the Virtual Flix promo that he did he was using Mass Effect assets and stuff. I remember that.
So now you guys listening to this at home may know some people that I've looked up, and mostly the funny thing is like I followed them on my Twitter account back when they made like machinimas and stuff. On my StormPow Twitter account, and then I took my little hiatus where I literally didn't sign into that Twitter for 4 years. I come back, I'm still following them, and so now I'm seeing what they're posting now, and a lot of them are, gameplay commentators. So of course there's Chilled Chaos. I didn't know that he's a commentator now. And then
Nice.
of course Uber Haxer Nova, Spoon.
I know Uber Hacks. Aren't they a part of Chilled Cow? I think it's called
Something, man, but they're still around. Do you want to know the most shocking one for me, I think?
Really? Okay. What do you got?
Do you remember from the Virtual Flix forums, Jimbathy? McCallahan Industries?
Oh, wait, I do remember that. I never talked to him that much, but I know who you're talking about.
So I remember him on the forums. He used to make these funny videos. He was such a troll, but not in like a oh, you suck, you're a fucking bitch, I hate you. Like
he wasn't the type that would be aggressively offensive. Like I've seen those trolls, the types that say all of the things about. You know the types. They're gonna say everything that's racist, homophobic, xenophobic. Which, by the way, man, I'm afraid to look back at some of the content I made a decade ago because I probably said some things that don't fly today.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the nature of it. I'm sure
It's the nature of the beast. Mm-hmm. I accept that. I'm a different person than what I was back then. I would not write certain things as I would then. I would not make as much reference humor in my comedy as I did back then. I did so many pop culture references. That's why I'm so scared to look at the minors.
Well, because it's like, the thing about pop culture references is it's like, you think it's hilarious because you get the joke, but like maybe it's such a niche joke. But
man, aren't Twilight jokes so funny and fresh? What about Justin Bieber sucks jokes?
Oh my god,
funny. That's not gonna age at all.
Yeah, and but anyway, McCallahan, Jimothy, whatever. He's a Fortnite player or streamer or whatever now. But I watch his videos and I fucking love them, honestly, because it's so his personality. He kind of like, he is so good at playing this character of like, you can tell he's kind of in a way mocking Fortnite like video creators and streamers and stuff, but he's honestly like gotten pretty successful and pretty popular doing it, and he's obviously like very good at the game and everything like that. But like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain, but you got to go watch it. It's some of the best like satire, but also not really that satire.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I'm gonna be honest. Go look it up.
when Fortnite came out, that was the first time I realized. You know the whole Simpsons thing where everybody's like, "Oh, you're just mad because you're not with it," and it's like, I used to be with it, and then the times turned around, and then things changed, and then you got with it, and then it's just like, oh, you think like Fortnite was the first time I realized, oh, I'm behind what's in, I'm behind what's hip and hot.
Yeah.
I'm so behind, yeah.
Because I remember the thing about Fortnite, it came out and I remember playing it like the day or maybe the second day it was out. And I remember playing it and being like, oh, this is kind of fun. I like this. And then, like most adults, I had to go to work the next day. And so I think I went like 5 days without playing it. And then it was the weekend. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to play that Fortnite game again. That was cool. Let me, get back on. And then all of a sudden, everybody was fucking amazing at that game. And I was after not playing for like 5 days, I was just getting my absolute shit pushed into me. And I was just like, I'm not with it after 5 days of absence.
I'm so scared to even I haven't played an online game in like a long time. I feel like I would bomb so hard.
Well, I keep waiting because, of course, they have Halo, the Master Chief Collection on the PC now. I've been playing Halo Reach and Halo 1, but like I was never good at either of those. And I'm just waiting for Halo 3 to come back, but I know I'm not going to be good at it again. Like I just feel like it. I keep telling myself, like when I'm playing these other Halos and I'm getting my shit pushed in, I'm like, when Halo 3 gets put on the Master Chief Collection, I'm there. I'm going to show y'all what's up.
I'm going to be good. I'm going to be hacks. I'm going to be the coolest Griffball champion in the world.
But we'll see. So, okay. I've got 2 questions for you, sir, that I would like to wrap up with.
Okay.
So, let me see which one of these do I want to do first, because they're both equally terrible.
Is one of them from Hudson?
No, actually, these are not any user requested or anything like that. These are some things that I was writing up, but
because I just want to address that since I know he's here right now. All I'm gonna say is, yes, Lewis, I've seen Dread. It's a good movie. You made a very good video about Dread. I loved it. It's a good movie.
We're like,
yes, it sucks that we're never getting more Dread. I know it sucks.
So let's see here. All right, we'll do this one first. So, if they made an anime based off of your life, who would voice act you?
Oh, fuck.
And I guess for the record, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, this guy sounds the most like me, but maybe, who would play your character the best, I guess. It's completely up to you.
Ooh. I like this question. This is good.
I felt good about this one.
Okay. Yes, one of the things I've gotten really accustomed to is studying a lot of like voice actors, things they do, what they sound like. Let's see. Who do I think would be good at playing me versus who do I think I want to play me? Can I give you like my top 3?
Sure. Yeah. Because this is a hard question. But the next one's even harder. But
like my top one that I think could do a really good me is also probably one of my favorite like voice actors in Dallas, or actually probably like one of my favorite like Funimation Dallas voice actor talents in general. His name is Josh Greeley.
Josh Greeley, okay. And what has he
been
in?
As far as what he has been in, he's in My Hero Academia. He is the bird boy Tokuyami. I believe he is even... what would he be in that you would... Is he in Baka and Test? I want to see if he's in Baka and Test. Because I know you've seen that dub for sure.
Yes.
But he does a lot of... Wait! Darren, you would know who he is. He's the fucking lead in Baka and Test.
Okay.
He's Akihisa.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Okay, I could see that.
No, Josh Greeley is like one of the most talented, versatile actors like I can think of off the top of my head. And he's played some of my favorite characters. Like, he was genuinely like, I got his signature at Anime NYC. That was one of the big ones for me because it's like I was so big a fan of his stuff for years. I got him to sign my Hero Academia book, as well as like little show called The Ancient Magus Bride, where he plays a really creepy evil guy in that. That's a really cool one. God, I could give you like 100 other shows I want to recommend you, but I'm working with a limit of like 5 to 6 plus the services you have.
We don't want to overwhelm the child.
I'm not going to overwhelm you. I've given you a fair list, but Josh Greeley is like my personal one that I think could voice me. He plays a lot of goofy spaz characters, but he could also be very serious and tough when he needs to be. He could also be really scary. Like, I've heard him play like evil, kind of dubious characters, and he's really good at it.
Okay.
As far as who I think could play me, I can also see Justin Briner. He's the voice. He's the lead guy in My Hero Academia. I could see a Justin Briner working for me. That'd be pretty fun.
Okay, I like these answers, like versatile people, because that's a good point. You know, like, I mean, if it's about your whole life, there's going to be a lot of different things going on. So you need a versatile actor to do it.
And this is one of those ones, I'm putting this one on just because I wish I had a voice this scary talented. Another one from the, I believe he's actually close friends with Alejandro, actually. His name is Damon Mills.
Yes, yeah, they are good friends. I've heard him talk about him, because I think when Dragon Ball Z Kakarot came out, you know, he was talking about
dude,
the Frieza voice.
Have you actually heard his Frieza voice compared to, like, Chris Aries' voice?
Yes, it's incredible.
It's scary good. Like,
yeah.
That dude's him and Josh, they got some crazy voice acting black magic stuff. Like, no, I say David Mills because I think realistically my third one would probably be like Aaron Dismuke, who's also in like Blood Blockade Battlefront and like Dr. Stone and stuff. He's also like the grown up Alphonse Elric.
Oh, okay.
I'd say my actual third would probably be Aaron Dismuke. The one I really want is David, because David, if I had David's voice, I could be anybody. Like, he plays a bad guy in a One Piece movie where literally I saw people were like, bullshit, that's not David Mills. Like, he can sound like the roughest, gruffest, badass salt. Like, he's the guy that could win a battle royale in the Salty Spittoon. And he looks like a very tall, lanky, pretty 20-something-year-old guy. He's a very pretty guy. He's a cool dude.
That, as a voice actor, if I were a voice actor, would probably be like my biggest goal, or like the biggest compliment you could give me would be like watch a show that I was in or something and be like, no, that's not him, because like it sounds so different from anything else you've done or your normal voice.
There have been several voice actors I've applauded and commended on their talent and skill over the years, because it's like, I can't tell that's you.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the actors I listed, they are really talented people who I would love to play my life, just because they have very good voices, and they're very talented at their craft, and their work should be admired, respected, and revered.
Nice. Okay. And
that was a fun one. Thank you.
Good deal. I'm glad to hear it. And this last one, I think, is going to be a little bit less fun, maybe more difficult, but so and so I am going to limit you to one on this, because that's kind of the point of it on here. So if you could only recommend one anime, just universally, not necessarily dependent on what are your interests, and so I guess it might just be what is your favorite anime of all time, period, but more so just if you could only recommend one to anybody ever, what would it be? Like I said, like a universal recommendation.
A universal recommendation. Okay, cool. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to recommend Dragon Ball as like my universal recommendation.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Dragon Ball Z is a show that was extremely important to me growing up. And it was important for me becoming friends with you is bonding over Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z video games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's still special to me. It's a special place. It's important to who I am, but I don't think it's really, really what I would personally recommend, like, to anybody who wants to get into an anime series.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I agree with that.
If I was to say, it could show somebody any anime that I think they truly need to watch, or something that really has moved me to tears, I'm going to say My Hero Academia.
Okay.
Because I would also akin this to some other shows that are really special to me, like Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann's another one that I mentioned really special to me, but I think that one's not quite as universal. That one's got a very weird, eccentric, hyper cool. It's very animated stuff. Like, there's some things about it, I think if you gave it to somebody in the West, they'd be like, oh, why is this girl wearing like a fire bikini with a giant sniper rifle? Why is that giant robot just got a drill? Why does episode 4 look like butt? Something like that, you know. But I still think that is absolutely a show I would highly recommend because it's wonderful. It's one of the coolest things that made me realize anime is cool. But no, My Hero Academia for a specific reason.
Hey guys, how's it hanging, everybody? This is StormPow, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode of StormPod as much as we had fun recording it. So as always, please be sure to check out twitch.tv/thestormpow to get yourself a live version of the show next time. We go ahead and do these episodes live every single week, so getting access to my Twitch gets you to not only be able to listen to the episode a whole 48 hours sooner, but it also lets you interact with myself and the guest before and after the show. So it's a great time. Also be sure to check out our merch at streamlabs.com/thestormpow/merch. And of course, be sure to check out the Dub Talk podcast where you can find Classy Spartan and some of his friends over there talking about some anime related goodness. So anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please be sure to follow us or subscribe to us on whatever platform it is that you currently enjoy the podcast on. But other than that, guys, I do want to thank you all for listening. I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye. All the music used in this podcast is by Kevin MacLeod. Be sure to check out his royalty-free music at incompetech.com.
The thing that I love about My Hero Academia is the first episode of that series, the first few episodes of that series made me cry because I related with the struggle of the character who's going through this. Because he lives in a world that has basically rejected him. He wanted to be told that everything's going to be okay, but it wasn't, or it wasn't going to be okay. He couldn't really achieve his dreams as far as like what his mom thought or what society thought. But then it comes down to like a mentor figure who sees what he's capable of, sees the ability of what he's good at. The thing he's always wanted to hear. Like, my friend uses this analogy. Imagine Superman was speaking to you, directly to you. You think of yourself as insignificant. You can't make a difference. You can't do anything. You're useless. You're worthless. Everything you've heard about in this world. You're not going to make it. You're not going to be important. You don't have anything special. You are nothing. You add nothing. You don't matter. Imagine Superman went up to you directly because he saw something in you. He saw that spark in you that you don't see in yourself. And he said, "Young man, you too can be a hero." Imagine he said that to you. When you see all you hate about yourself, all the things you think aren't good about yourself. And he says, you too can be great. You too can be wonderful. That's the moment that clicks. That's the moment that makes you realize this isn't just a really good action series with good characters, good story, good world building. This is a series with heart and soul that moved me and won me over harder than anything has in a long time. And that's why I think it's genuinely, like, if I was to recommend one anime to somebody to watch, it would be My Hero Academia.